I don't know
How
bad I am at League.
What are we talking about? Blake, why do you have the face of a man that just, like... I feel like you just witnessed someone steal your
fucking
Kool-Aid.
video just got screwed up, and I just... Like, it was just not a problem on the preview, and then I go to actual view, and then all of a sudden, like, it's not loading at all when I've already got it all figured out, and I'm kind of pissed about it.
Mother of God. Was your OBS fucking up?
I mean, apparently, like all the boxes are black, and it does this shit, and it pisses me off every time. And I don't know why this glitch takes place. Okay, so my camera just came back on.
Listen to this Reddit thread. Imagine telling someone in preseason that Urgot and Aatrox would be the best top laners in meta for Season 8 Worlds.
Guess they're both gonna get reworked.
We're not live yet, are we?
No.
Oh, we
well, I mean, technically,
Everyone
yes.
saw that, Ash.
Nah,
Technically,
I
yes.
don't care if people see me vape. I just don't want to do it like during the podcast because Blake will kill me.
No, I don't care if you vape during the podcast. I care if you vape during a fucking gank. That was like...
Wait, like in the middle of a game?
Yeah! Like, oh my god, this pissed me off so bad. So, like, we're going to
Save your
gank
rep for the
mid?
podcast. Oh god.
Yeah, we're going to gank mid.
Blake, hold it.
It's okay.
Don't waste this gold on the pre-show.
Yes, accurate.
My friend always smokes a bowl, like, before every game. We play, like, 4
I
games.
can't play high. It doesn't
Yeah,
work.
no, he does it all the time. He can't focus without doing it. I'm like, that's a problem.
Nah, I get it. That's me with booze. I gotta have a little bit. Keep the engine running. Today, we're drinking... What is this? White Birch Brewing's Watermelon Wheat. A sour wheat eel from... eel.
An
Ale.
eel?
Wow.
It's very dark in here. I'm drinking a sour wheat
Is
eel.
it so dark that your beer turned into an aquatic creature?
It's squiggly. It's hard to keep a hold of. A sour wheat ale fermented with watermelon. And I gotta tell you...
Hey, Ollie, do me a favor and move real quick. Okay, the video's working. You stood perfectly still, like
Yeah, you know what I'm
Drax
Yeah,
on
that's
Guardians
exactly
of the
what I
Galaxy.
was just
Like,
gonna say.
I forgot you
I was
were
like-
there for a second. I was like,
I was gonna say he works at Tiananmen Square most of the time.
Oh.
yeah, that's kind of a...
Oh, God.
That's
What?
something.
What is
No, I
what,
get-
what what was wrong about that at all?
Well, it referenced kind of a tragedy.
I was more so speaking to they stand perfectly still. The
And then
entire
they got
time.
ran over by a tank.
Tank?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the...
I mean,
I
yeah,
laugh.
but that-
I laugh because I'm a piece of shit and, like, I like dark humor. So,
he didn't get run over by a tank. He's fine. Look at him. You. I'm talking about you, not the guy at the. Anyways, this isn't getting better.
All right, we are
So,
good.
do we have anything we want to talk about?
No,
before
the
we get-
stream
No,
is good.
yeah.
We're ready to get started. We're going to talk about
No,
Ashley
like-
and how much she sucks. I'm going to make fun
Okay.
of Canada a lot. Those are the 2 bullet points. And then
That's great.
we're going to talk about
Wish
how...
I'm prepared.
Yeah. Exactly. It's going to be easy. Don't worry about it. Here we go.
No, it's not gonna be easy.
Hey everybody, welcome to League of Legends Anonymous, episode 207. I bring you a 4-man podcast, well, 3-man podcast this evening. To start the parade of men, you have myself, Wise Papa Smurf, High T, bringing it in hard, and then with me is slightly lower T, Brad. Hey Brad, what's up? How's your tea doing?
My tea is peaked.
That's
I
good.
do not have low tea.
I'm glad.
I am not from the Andy Daly podcast pilot project.
All
Thank you
right.
very much.
You bringing in the T's. All right, and also question mark T Ollie, what's up, dude?
hey, what's up? How's everybody?
Welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you've been enjoying that 2-week vacation?
That's exactly a couple. It's been exactly a couple.
Yeah,
No, couple is 3 or more.
No,
it's been about a fortnight.
No. Okay, listen. Yeah, I know.
You is 3 or more. He said a couple. You clarified. Yes, I agree. It's also been exactly what you said. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been about a day. No, 24 hours. Okay. Sounds good.
A day is 26 hours.
Okay,
more.
yes, okay, it's been a couple of weeks.
Right. So, excellent. Good to have you back. And also on the show this week, we're bringing her back by, I don't know, do you say popular demand when nobody really asked for it?
Okay, I've had people ask me if I was coming on
You
the
could say
podcast
demand.
Yeah, a demand. Her
Exactly.
demand. Back by her demand. Ash Ely is returning to the podcast. Hey, Ashley, what's
Yay.
up?
Hi.
So
you made it.
I thought about that. Do you prefer to be called Ashley, Ash E. Lee, or your solo queue name Worth E. Less?
Worth?
See, because it's got the E in there. Oh,
Damn.
I prefer Ashley, thanks.
Ashley. Okay, great. I didn't want to presume, but no.
About Ash E something else. Damn, it didn't work. Try
It didn't work.
Went for it.
It was a swing and a
I wanted to be
miss.
Part of this. Blake, you came in with pre-written material, and I
didn't. No, that was off the top of the head.
Worth E list. You have never
Yeah,
done that
nope.
before.
Top of the head.
Go fuck yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm good at this
Yo.
shit. So, here we go. Last time we had Ashley on, it was before her long and storied epic climb. She was starting out.
Moving on.
Yep.
She was starting out somewhere around silver. What was
4.
that, Ashley? Silver 4. Okay, and after months of effort, she's managed to
Where
climb
are they
up.
now?
Yeah, where are you now, Ashley?
Rumble?
Silver 3. Woo!
Silver 3. All right, progress. We did it.
Big move.
We did it.
Yeah. So we're looking at projected 2020 season rewards. You're gonna get that gold champion 2020
You get that Victoria's skin?
at the
I'll probably get it next season.
at the rocket pace that
But
we're
why
setting
not
right
this
now.
season? Why
Well,
was it
I
negative
stopped
2?
playing ranked. I don't know. No, I'll play League. I just don't play ranked. I don't know.
Well, why? It's not gonna get
'Cause-
worse.
Well, I go away for a few days and then I come back and I don't want to jump right into ranked.
All right. Well, to be
That's
fair to
really good.
Ashley, I kind of set her up for that one. I probably will do all night. But to be fair, she's moved 4 times or some shit since
I got
we
demoted, I think, twice back into Silver 4
Right. So
and then
slides.
back to Silver 3. I'm
Well,
very
I mean-
upset about it.
That'll happen. But I mean, yeah, you had to move a lot. There was shit going on.
You gotta bungee cord your way up. Every bounce you get a little bit higher until you reach the end of the bungee, and that's where you live now. No one's gonna really.
Brad, you've never been
Are you
bungee jumping,
safe?
have you?
Wait, no.
You think everybody just stays there afterward?
I said I follow that with no one's gonna reel you up unless you find Blake to carry you.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All
okay.
You
right,
didn't
that's
let me
fair.
finish the analogy, you lovely, charming man.
Fair enough. All right. So I just thought you had a very fatalistic view of bungee jumping.
This
Whoop.
is where I will live for the rest of my days.
That was fun. Now I guess I starve. So anyway,
I wonder if I could eat the rope.
I can't say the word rubbery in a German accent. I don't
Try
know
it. Give it a go.
how. Rubbery.
I accept.
The
too
accent.
bad.
The rope is very rubbery.
It's hard. How do you say? Hard to digest.
It bounces off my teeth. So anyway, so Ashley, you know, I wanted to throw out some shit because I think your actual elo isn't representative of how far you've actually progressed, right? Mostly because it hasn't really significantly changed at all. So, but your play clearly has, right?
Red just went dark.
Yeah.
My computer fell asleep.
So, like, first things first. How do you feel about like your laning phase? What are some of the noticeable things that you've done in laning phase?
Well, I guess we talked about this in the first podcast, but like except for like 2 games that I played with you because I didn't play in a long time. Level 2 power spikes, I would like always go in, or I do always go in.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then like I actually like played a game today, and I got my Ezreal really fed, and I wasn't even playing my main. I was playing Thresh, which I'm not the best at, but I still did stuff. And I got my Ezreal really fed. He was like 8-0 out of laning phase, but then after laning phase, like I don't know what to do very much.
Okay, because I mean we never really got there.
Yeah,
in the coaching, right? Like
so I think I got to the point. Yeah, I think I got to the point where like laning phase is good now. Like I'm not worried about it anymore.
So like at the level of play that you're at, you feel like your laning phase is strong, but we haven't. Like you got to turn that into something else, and that's where the question mark is.
Yeah.
Okay. So like also a couple of notes that I've got. Like I have noticed that you play a lot better whenever you have both hands on your keyboard. Right?
Well, I mean, Blake.
Yeah.
Counterpoint, probably one hand on the mouse is key.
Yeah, okay, I mean, that's fair. But, like, generally speaking, I feel like her mechanics suffer a lot when she's, like, vaping, right? And devoting at least one hand to that. Particularly during a 30-second roam to mid.
I thought I had enough time.
You did not have enough time! Like,
Blake.
So we're... Background story, we're playing, we're beating the shit out of this bot lane, everything's going pretty well, and I'm like, hey, we should rotate to mid right now, they think we've backed, we can just go kill this mid laner, the guy's not even paying attention, and I'm like, alright, and so we like walk all the way down the river, like all the way, like 15 Mississippi, all the way, and as we get there, Ashley's ult, like she's Leona, her ult just goes kind of off and to the right, right? Like
how often we talking?
Like
okay, so like
a flash and a half away from the guy, so it wasn't predictive.
Like how big you caught a fish.
Yeah, like it wasn't predictive because if it was predictive, it'd be like a flash behind him or something. So maybe he's gonna flash backwards, or maybe he's gonna do something. No, it was like the guy was running this way, and her ult was like over here. Right?
Oh,
and so it was
so
way
what
off.
happened was-
And then like
It's not your turn yet, young lady.
oh no, I am not done. So after she shoots her ult like ass backwards in the middle of fucking Saskatchewan, like she like runs 3 feet forward, like throws her E at nothing. It's never gonna connect. And then she goes, well, that was over. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And she's like, I was vaping. And she said it defensively. Like, I'm the asshole for being like, why were you vaping? Like,
now, Ashley,
fucking
before you respond to this, Blake, I would like to say, what good's Elo if you're not about that vape life?
I mean, Vape Nation, mid lane.
Vape the rift.
All right,
Hashtag
so-
vape the rift.
What actually happened, well, is very
It
similar
is
to what
exactly
Blake
what Blake said. Verbatim.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was walking, and I didn't move my camera with me because I had my vape in my hand and I wasn't pushing spacebar.
Okay.
Which I
It's
could have been
logical.
using my mouse.
Totally
I could have been
could
using my mouse. I
could happen to anybody.
Lean forward with that vape and just bam, you're right here.
Yeah. Vape mechanics.
Anyways,
is what you're saying,
I
right?
thought it would take
Vape
longer
the space.
Yeah, vape the space. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Hashtag vape the space. You know? Am I right?
Please continue.
Kids are still about the hashtags.
Yeah, kids love those.
Okay, so I didn't have my camera there, and then once I put my vape down and clicked my camera, I was walking past the person, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta do something now. So I ult, and it just happened to not be where they were.
It's like,
So I-
just threw it. You just threw it off.
It was a panic
Like,
ult,
oh
okay?
shit, R.
And so I was like, shit, my ult, I can't just stop there, so I went and tried to eat it. It didn't work.
I appreciate the commitment.
Yeah.
You can't give a shit. Hey, there was a guy on Reddit who made it to like diamond playing only one hand because he was like amputated. So I think Ash can be like the first person to make it a diamond vaping.
Vaping, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just vape the game.
It's like
Well,
roll a diamond while vaping.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, whenever I used to smoke, like cigarettes, like like it's like vaping for men, right? Anyway, when I used to smoke cigs, you could just put it in your mouth and breathe. Do vapes not work that way?
No, you
They're
gotta
a
push
bit
a button.
heavy.
Do you have to
You
push a
also
button?
Or just get a Juul.
You gotta push the button, but they're also kind of heavy. I can't just hold it in my mouth; it'd fall out.
Why don't you try?
I think
No.
you could do it.
Ashley.
You look like Popeye. It's a good look. Got my corn cob vape. I'm ready to go. So anyway, we had a long talk about doing stupid shit, and so she's trying to do that less, and that's a really good start. That one's low hanging fruit, right? Like, don't vape when you're ganking.
Fair
Vape
enough, yeah.
during recall animations, or whilst walking back to land.
usually
Hashtag
only
vape and base.
I only vape while walking back to
Hashtag.
lane.
Hold on. Hashtag vape fountain.
Vape fountain. That's good. That's where the diamonds vape.
I hate you guys.
Ollie, what do you? Ollie, like I'm kind of hard on Ashley. I don't know because I've got.
So you're gonna turn all that attention to me now?
Yeah, no. I had a question though because from a different perspective, I usually play from a support perspective. So from an ADC perspective, where do you prefer your support to vape?
Where?
Yeah. At what,
we're on the
at
map,
what point
or
in the
like-
game is best vaping territory?
The best part is when we're doing Baron,
Mm-hmm.
and the enemy jungler is like 2 levels ahead of my jungler, and he's just like
Right.
not even trying to like kick the enemy jungler away from Baron. No. I like when he's vaping just behind Baron, take the most damage possible.
Right. Create
That way the enemy Lee Sin can just queue into like my thresh and just
Smart.
smite away.
Yeah, it
Smart.
denies
That's-
vision with all
yeah,
the vape
100%.
cloud.
Yeah. All that's
Vape cloud, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Forget
vision
Graves'
denial
smoke screen.
technique.
It's all about the vape.
Yeah.
Smart.
They should actually make a vape and grave skin. Millennials would go shitting for that.
Remember
And
he
then,
lost a cigar.
then he's
His
not
smoke screen
smoking.
is just like a vape cloud.
Yeah, he just goes.
No, it's a-
I don't know what
it's
vaping's
vape
like.
on
I've
the table
not
and
done
then
it,
you
but
do a
I
tornado.
assume it has some sort of like smoke-like texture. Actually, that's not true. I had an e-cig once whenever I was trying to quit. Is it like that?
It's like a cigarette if a cigarette was weak.
So it's like
No, these are not weak. All right, so, I don't want to like defend vapes because that's fucking
these are not
It's
weak.
loser.
it's like
No,
okay. So if
It
a
depends.
cigarette
It
if a
depends.
cigarette was a pro football player, a vape would be like a guy that scored 3 touchdowns at Polk High, named Al Bundy.
Oh yeah, he had a hot daughter.
I was really good for like this period of time, but like I never made it pro. Like cigarettes.
Right.
Also, you're absolutely right. Christina Applegate in the 90s.
So hot, like ridiculously hot.
I really thought you were about to do the Billy Madison "So Hot, Want to Touch the Heine."
Oh, I should have. Does anybody
Give it a shot.
remember that besides me and you though?
You guys are so old.
Yeah,
Uh,
and American.
hashtag so old and American.
Hashtag, at least we don't vape.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's actually, I'm sure, terrible for you.
Yeah.
So Blake,
At least
is the
I'm not an
secret of Diamond-
alcoholic.
I don't
Is the
even
secret
drink.
of Diamond smoking cigarettes instead of vaping during league games?
Nah, man, you don't do that either. That's good. It makes your house smell bad. I
don't
figured
know,
that out in
Brooklyn's did
college.
really well.
So here's the story. In college, I used to smoke, but I didn't tell my parents I smoked because my mom was a high school guidance counselor, right? And so that's a real awkward conversation to have with your mother, who's like exactly professionally opposed to people doing that, right? So it's like, that's whatever. They never come up and visit, and if they do, I have enough time that I can like Febreze the whole house. And I really
Air this
thought,
bitch out for a-
yeah, no, I really vastly overestimated the power of Febreze, right? Because I used to sit and play Final Fantasy XI, and I had like an ashtray right here by my computer, and I would just chain smoke cigs whilst playing Final Fantasy XI. But like, I wasn't really that good at Final Fantasy XI that I could actually smoke during the game. You know, but like I would do it, you know, when I was on like a chocobo ride or something, or like an airship or someplace where I wouldn't fuck my team over. You know, anyway.
Blake, I feel like you're adding weird emphasis.
It's as if I'm intending some sort of secondary meaning. So, Ashley, you've played the ever-living balls out of Leona, and you're getting pretty good at it, for the most part.
Just
right?
barbecuing bitches.
And so now you've kind of switched over to like try out more new things. I've seen you've done pike, and you're picking up some thresh. How do you feel playing a champ other than Leona has impacted your play? Like, do you notice a significant difference between your abilities whilst playing your one-trick Leona versus whilst playing pike, thresh, whatever?
Well, sometimes I'll be playing a different champion and then try to, like, W as I go in, because that's what you do on Leona.
You hit Leona buttons.
You forget which champion you're playing.
And then I put down a lantern, and I'm like, I didn't mean to do that. It's not...
Oh my god, that's why you did that the other night. Oh, shit! That makes perfect sense now. Okay, so I was playing with Ash, like, yesterday or some shit, and she was playing with Thresh, and she like threw down her W and then like wound up a hook, threw it, caught the guy, went in and like flayed, and I'm like, hey, I'm over here, throw me your lantern. And she's like, cool down. That was the only thing she said. It was like, cool down. And I was like, okay.
How dope would it have been if the lantern just happened to be where you were and you never knew?
Yeah. Well, and I was like, damn. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, that sucks. It's on cooldown. It's gonna be hard to follow
actually,
this up.
I think that time I was used it as a shield because I was too close to them and they were hitting me. And then I went in.
Oh.
And then I didn't have it up. So.
Okay. I just thought you were you made the quick cooldown rather than being like I hit my W accidentally. But no, like, how, for real though, like, if you play at a 10 with Leona, like, if I were to put you on Thresh or Pike or whatever.
Pike, I'm really shit at. Thresh, I'm a bit better, but, like, landing your Q is a lot different than E. It's a longer skill shot, but it's also, like, there's a wind-up to it, so you gotta predict it a bit more. And it's just,
rewarding?
like...
Also, Thresh
Isn't it more rewarding?
I don't know who to listen to right now.
Isn't it more rewarding to hit that?
Rewarding when you get a hook,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
Also, Thresh Hook is cool because it's one of the few skill shots in the game that you can no-look. Where, like, you face backwards and it'll switch the other way. Mm-hmm. Which, you gotta do it for style points. You take one step back and then you...
You just hit him with that 360.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I don't know, like... I would like to say I'm good at Thresh. I mean, I have him mastery level 7, but that doesn't mean shit.
I think Blake's point was, like, if you were to number rate yourself, right? 10 on Leona,
number rate mine.
And then pick your next 3 supports, and what would you say?
If by, I think Blake's point was that, if you said, I think the question he asked you was that, then yes. That's correct, too.
Oh, sorry for helping you, twat.
No, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Like, okay, wait, so you want me to, like...
Yeah, like, if you're a 10 at Leona, where do you feel you're at on
I'd probably be, like,
Thresh?
a 6 at Thresh.
Okay. Pike?
And maybe a 5.
Okay, what do you think?
Maybe a 6.
What do you think your next highest is?
So, wait, hold on. I can test this scoring system.
No.
So, you're pretty good at Thresh, but you're shit at Pike, and yet you're a 6 at both of them?
Okay, I'm a 5 at Pike. Okay, I might be a 7 at Thresh. This is hard. It's hard to calculate.
It's just roughly how good are you? Go
Hey,
with your
ballpark.
heart.
But you don't put
Shen
everything
is,
in
like,
the
the other
same
one.
ballpark. Shen,
Shen is
okay.
the other one I play. I feel like I'm better at him than... Sometimes I'm not, but I feel like I'm better at him than Thresh or Pike.
I appreciate your honesty.
Yeah. It's brutal honesty.
No, that's them being sincere. Like you're, so Leona's a 10.
Yes.
The rest
I
is
would
a
say 7. Shen is an 8, and Pike is a 6. There you
Okay.
go.
all right.
I thought
So, right.
Pike be easy to Thresh.
A Pike? Really, I'll tell you this. Pike mechanically is easier than Thresh, but it's harder to be impactful with Pike in like the laning phase.
Especially early, yeah.
Because like you just have to have clear shots. Like with Thresh, I can E them to slow them, pull them backwards, makes it easier to land a hook. With
And
Pike,
you're a little beefier early on.
yeah, with Pike you really can't do much of his shit in reverse. Like you can't really like E at him and then Q. You know, it doesn't really work that way. But like, yeah, and it sure like if you hit it, they're fucked. But like, same is true of Thresh or Blitz or any of those champions that it's like actually,
Hook champs.
yeah, hook champs. I mean, all hook champs are that. So
Oh,
But a lot of
one
them are
thing-
more forgiving than Pike early.
right,
One difference between me playing Thresh and me playing Leona is when I play Leona, I don't like go out trying to get. Well, I do try to get picks, but I don't like only focus on that. When I'm playing Thresh, I'm like, I just want to get a hook. I just want to land a hook. I don't want to protect my ADC. Nah, I just
so
want a
like,
hook.
let me ask you a question because you brought this up a minute ago. Like you kind of hit it out with your Ezreal game, but you actually asked me about that game earlier, and you said I was trying to initiate and land hooks, and then I would just die. Is that because you weren't accounting for the fact that when you throw the Q, you're kind of stuck there for a couple of seconds?
Yeah, because with Leona, I'm not. I just go.
Yeah,
well,
it's like-
especially not if I
you-
don't hit it though.
Well, you're like, well, yeah, sure, you either hit it or you just walk away. But with Thresh, you like, and then it takes forever, and if you miss,
Yeah.
you're stuck, and whatever.
Definitely.
Okay, so I mean, there is some like getting adjusted portion of what you're dealing with right now. Now, if you were playing ranked, would changing champions make an enormous difference in your ability to climb? Like
I
playing
believe so.
multiple champions.
I believe so. I believe I would climb way better, way faster with Leona, just because I'm like comfortable on her, and like I know where my limits are, and I know how far I can go, and I know exactly what to do with Leona. I don't always know exactly what to do with Thresh or Pike or Shen.
What about a bad matchup? Like, are you to the
Or-
point where you're so comfortable with Leona that you would play her into a bad matchup versus picking out like one of your other champions that you're not as good at?
Also, what's your least favorite matchup, to give context to that question?
Okay, so I always ban Morgana, so I don't.
I was going to say Morgana's her.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, but like I always ban her, so I don't know.
So
I don't know.
second worst.
Okay, I
matchup
guess
then.
the second worst matchup would be Thresh, because like he can just flay you away while you're trying to in, or Janna. Janna's a big counter.
Oh, that tornado.
Yeah, both of them, or her. Yeah, but I
So,
guess
like,
if I was playing into a Janna, what?
yeah, well, that was. I mean, you're getting around to it, but I was saying,
Okay.
if you were into, let's say, Morgana, Janna, Thresh, whatever. Well, Thresh really doesn't count. But I mean, when would you consider dropping Leona and going to the other one, or would you rather just play into the bad matchup rather than pick a champion that maybe you don't play at the same level?
Okay, so I used to play a lot of Karma, and if I would pick a different champion into a bad matchup like Janna, I would pick Karma. Just because, like, yeah, she can still shield all my damage, but she's not gonna, like, cancel out, like, everything. So I would play Karma, but I still feel if I was playing a ranked game, I would play Leona into a bad matchup anyways. Because I am more comfortable there, and I know I'll do good, even if I don't do good in laning phase, I can carry it out through the late game.
I would like to say that, especially at like I'm gold, you're silver. At our ranks, play what you're best at. Don't if you were playing against like Sivir Morgana and you were like, maybe today's not a Leona game. I'd get that, but still, 99% of the time, just play what you're best at.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I mean, unless you're in like such a swamp ass matchup that you literally you can't do anything. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
I just realized
that against Sivir Morgana. That's like a maybe I switched it up this one time.
Well, that's like on those kind of games. I just get normally with Thresh, I'd max Q. If I was against Sivir Morgana, I'd max E and just
use your Q to still get in there.
Yeah, I just auto attack to poke. Like that's all you can do. But I mean, realistically speaking, I think that is the right answer. I'm glad you went that way.
Think?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, in most situations, I think that's the right answer. There's never, and that's the thing, everybody asks me questions like, Papa Smurf, what do you do in this situation? Well, it's like, there's never genuinely a purely right answer in League. You know, and if you're looking for it, then you're probably looking in the wrong place. But, like, there's general directions, and I think that's right. Like, play what you're good at is the number one kind of golden rule, and deviate from that in the most god-awful situations.
Like, I kind of came back to playing League not too long ago, and not like I wasn't playing at all, but I was playing, a game or two a week for a while, and now I've been playing more consistently. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to play a lot of Lee Sins. My favorite champ, I'm just going to play the shit out of that. And I went from like a 48% win rate to like a 59% win rate in ranked.
Damn.
On that champ.
Damn.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, yeah, I didn't have a lot of games with the low win rate.
I was going to ask, like, what's the sample size?
I think the 59%'s on like 140 games, maybe.
That's pretty good. That's a lot of games.
It's a decent chunk. But I get bad matchups, and I'm like, well, I play this significantly at a higher level than I play anything else. So I'm just going to play that. And I think that applies largely to your Leona as well. It's a little bit of a cheat when it's the jungle, because I can be like, well, I don't want to gank this lane because they have a thing that's difficult, so I'm just going to focus on the rest of the map. Whereas you're like, I'm here, and it sucks if the people across from me don't necessarily abide by what I want them to. But you can also roam a lot, right? Like, grab those Mobies, hit up mid, get them fed, have them roam with you. There's options. Anyways, I maintain my stance of play what you're best at all the time.
You know what? I just realized that this episode, for probably the first time in as long as I can remember, we've got like the ELO rainbow.
Oh.
I was just going to say that. We got silver, gold, plat, diamond.
Silver, gold, plat, diamond.
I think I'm bronze and threes. I haven't played.
Yeah, I've played threes with you. Like, that's probably accurate.
It's like 3, 2, 4, 1. It's not like...
No, it works. It's counterclockwise. Silver, gold, plat, diamond.
Wait a minute. No, it's not.
On my screen,
it's like the letter N.
Where are you at? Where are you at on your screen?
I'm on the bottom right.
I'm on the bottom right.
Yeah, it's on my screen. Wait, what's on the screen?
Oh, I'm the bottom right.
Just for the sake of clarity, I'm on the stream. It's Ollie in the top left, me in the bottom left, Ashley in the bottom right, Brad in the bottom. Wait, Ashley in the top right, Brad in the bottom right.
Okay.
So.
Well.
Sorry, guys. It doesn't work at all in any kind of circular sense. It's like the letter N.
Because I thought the way I see it was the way everyone saw it, so I was pointing at Brad before, but I don't know who I'm pointing at.
that pointed at me on my screen.
You're pointing.
I think you were pointing at mine.
You're pointing east.
Oh, shit.
So, hey, yeah. So, hey, back to actually climbing as a support. So, your laning phase you're feeling pretty good on. I would say, like, having played with you quite a bit in the last few months, your laning phase has improved absolutely significantly. That you're much better than you were before. Brad gives you the so hand.
What?
But no, I'd say it's much better. Like when you're not like doofing around and acting dumb. I think you like when you try, your level has increased substantially. But there's
when
like
she's caping, not vaping.
That's good. You just come up with that on the spot, or did you write pre-written material?
No, that was all right here.
No, that was good. That was good. So yeah, like when you try hard, I think like significantly better, right? And I've seen that over the last like 3 months, right? So that
I don't know
has
how long
improved.
we've been playing, but yeah.
But you bring up a good point. Is we literally have never talked about how to macro, right? And
Well, basically, the only thing you've taught me about macro is defend you, only initiate with my ult, and protect you, or the ADC.
okay,
in team fights.
but that's when I'm like way the fuck ahead, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, would you rather we launch a discussion on team fight dynamic, or would you rather we launch a discussion on like macro play rotations and elo after turret goes down? Your choice.
The second one. One.
Okay.
Because like the first one, I kind of understand mostly. I have more understanding of that than the second one. So let's learn some things.
Okay, cool. So we have just stomped lane. Ollie. We just stomped lane. It's feeling good, right?
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? I mean, we just kicked their ass. We're like 6-0 ADC. Support probably has 7 kills because he's better than you. You know, just because supports are true heroes, right? I mean, we can all agree on that.
Sure, buddy. Yep.
It had nothing to do with the
I'm
ignite.
still typing. Good job, Jin.
Yeah, it's like
It had nothing to do with the ignite, Blake.
Like Cobra. Anyway, so we have just cleared out lane, and we've stomped them, right? Let's say that mid is fairly even, top is fairly even, right? Nobody's got a ton of tower pressure. There's not a whole lot of damage down, and so what are we gonna do? Like, what's the next step for you?
Invade with your jungle.
Like we just took down turret and we just destroyed bot lane. Like they're dead.
Yeah. What are the things you're gonna look for right now?
If jungler's nearby and dragon's up, probably take that before backing because that's easy as hell.
Okay, so grab the free objectives you have map pressure for. Okay.
And you're staying. Well, the lanes aren't pushed up. After that, probably see. I probably want to make a move mid lane because it's the quickest lane.
Okay.
So I want to see if we can collapse on mid, maybe get it down to at least half health. You're saying there's not a lot of damage to these turrets. I'm guessing at least 3/4.
Let's say half. Let's say half damage.
Every half, and I'm ahead. Definitely mid because if I can melt that thing down. I'm going to assume 1.5 items in.
Okay.
So,
I'm having a moment. Did we say that you got the first turret bot?
Yeah,
that's what.
Yeah,
first turret bot, 6-0.
Yeah, you're ludicrously ahead, and you're
go mid, collapse mid.
Okay.
Yep.
In what situation would you go and swap a top laner instead?
Well, if I'm seriously
what would
ahead,
you change about the story that I just laid out? Right. What changes for you to go top instead of mid?
If top has more pressure, I would go up there instead.
If their top has more pressure?
If our top...
pressuring...
No. Yeah, I think if our top has more pressure, I'd rather go up there and collapse on that first. Because it's the quickest one to take. And then I'd probably just swap lanes with that guy. He can go bot. Or he can go mid. And we can take down the, all first tier turrets. So that's what I would do. I need to see these things.
Okay, so I kind of gave you an unfair question. Brad, what do you think?
Oh yeah, so I would think that like the ultimate reason to swap top instead of collapsing mid, right? If you're super ahead, is my top laner's getting pressured, right? So maybe your top outer is getting chunked and it's at half, and their top tower has no damage, but your bottom tower has no damage because you're super fed. So you say, okay, top laner, you come down bot, and you hold this tower while we go and get another one top because they can't stop us. So like that would be my inclination of why you'd swap top.
I would be generally inclined to agree with Brad because if all things are equal, hell, even if the tower is low, right, your top laner will probably take it by himself, and you going that far away from bottom lane is going to waste a whole bunch of minions, right? Because there's just resources that die and go down the drain, right? So you have to think like, every time I move across the map from one place to another, what am I sacrificing in terms of CS, right? If your wave is pushed past their dead tower and is stuck over there by like the Krugs or the Gromp, right? Then you're not really losing much of anything because you can't really safely CS that unless you have an insane amount of vision, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a 0, right? But by the time you go all the way to top, if your top laner doesn't just go to bottom, right? By the time you'd go to top, get anything done. I mean, hell, by the time you even get there, it's going to take you another 45 seconds to get to bot. By that time, if they push, the wave is already dead.
But what if they haven't? What if they're holding the wave like near to their tier 2?
Then I mean, you're really kind of free to do anything if they freeze.
Yeah. Then I would that time I would go top, and then if we can't get top right away, we can easy 3-man Herald.
Yeah. Yeah, because Herald is still on the board. Herald's a very valuable grab. That's true.
So if I'm like if the situation is like I'm 6-0, then it means like bot lane is like done for. So they need to freeze that wave as close as possible to the turret.
Correct.
So that's when you want to like pressure the other 2 lanes, especially get Herald.
But I mean, to be fair though, Herald is equidistant from both top and mid. So if all things are even, probably just take whichever lane is closer, because then if they do push out, you can get back to bot lane. If you've just taken the dragon, that's off the board, then sure. I mean, rotate between top and mid, however that's going to work. Like,
I think another small element is there's a big difference. Like when you're choosing to go top or mid, there's a big difference if you're backing first, right? Like let's say you go low, taking the bottom turret, even though you're 6-0. If you have to go back, then you have time to coordinate, right? Like top lane go bot, we're gonna go up there, or we're coming mid, like they know, prep the wave, whatever. But if bottom tower dies and you're full health and you're like, we're fucking going mid, that's a little bit different, right? It's a different scenario where there's no prep time. I mean, there's minimal prep time, and there's not like a we're swapping. It's like we're going to the closest thing.
Yeah. The other thing I would say is, like, if your top is just hemorrhaging, right, it is more important to get him out of that matchup than it is, for him to, like, have a steady, actually CSable wave. Because 2v1, he's not going to be able to CS in bottom, even if they're getting beaten up, right? But you can put the brakes on their top laner snowballing. Right, so that could be huge. That would be definitely a time that you would want to consider just doing a lane swap all the way to top. Your first answer, though, going to mid, I think is probably your like 75% or higher, 80% case of what you would want to do most of the time, right?
And the bane of every mid laner's existence.
Right, and that's the catch, though. It's like, how do you make that play and yet like still keep up your CS as an ADC, right? Because you're now splitting CS with mid.
Experience.
Right. So, but here's the catch, though. The act of going mid is not done for CS. The act of going mid is done for pressure. So if you don't hit the tower, it doesn't matter, right? So, like, you're rotating to supply pressure. You rotate back to bottom to get resources. As a support, though, for Ashley's purposes, you're not. You are purely there, like, let the ADC worry about resource management. You're there to provide pressure so that the person cannot defend their tower or they're likely to die. Right? Like, that's the whole point. So I was watching a video today, like Philol, or I think it was Philol, put out a video, and I linked it in the Discord. And
Oh, I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it? Okay, it's a pretty good video.
I was going to.
6 things, yeah.
Yeah, 6 things supports do to make ADCs go crazy, right? And like one of the things, or make ADCs rage. One of the things he talked about, he's like, okay, so laning phase is over, and we've lane swapped with the top laner, and the support just roams everywhere and leaves. And leaves me in a 1v1 against the top laner. I hate that. You're not free to just roam everywhere because your tower is down, Mr. Support. Like, you should stay with your ADC, and we're a team. Generally, I agree with that. I think that's true, particularly if you're going to rotate top because you're going against a fed top laner most of the time. Right? If it is a... Like, if you have a 6-0 bot laner, they should be able to 2v1 the enemies. I mean, realistically, if they have, like, flash or anything. But you still have a responsibility to kind of stay with that person some. Like, I would agree with the video in that regard.
Or at the very least, provide them vision so they know if they're going to get fucked.
Yeah, I mean, that's a... Well, okay, so I say that's a given, but it's not a given if you're, like, gold or silver or bronze or whatever, right? Like, they don't think of it that way. They just think, or iron now. God, it's so weird. Anyway.
Wait, is that a thing?
It's the new lowest rank, iron. I think it should be like in between bronze and silver. Bronze sounds like the worst.
Yeah, I know. We talked about this when they announced it, like last week, and I was like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense because iron is stronger than bronze, and
they should have just thrown cardboard in there.
Well, okay, so they talked about that, and they said
or wood.
Yeah, they didn't want to pick that because they thought people would actively try to get wood because it's too memey.
Yeah, like that guy on YouTube, what's his name, Keshway, he does like Wood Division series, hilarious. He just like shows a bunch of bronze players, like it's actually so funny. Man.
But anyway.
Is iron really the most shit metal? Okay, well.
No, it's not. You could be tin or copper.
Tin's not good.
Yeah, but if you mix tin and copper, you get bronze.
Right.
So you pick either one of those. That would have been fine. But anyway, regardless, yeah, so there's like basically the two plays you make as a support were what we just said. You rotate to mid or you rotate to top, right? It's the ADC's deal to be able to rotate back and get his wave or to pick up resources elsewhere. You don't really have to worry about resources, but you do need to worry about pressure, right? There is a mystery third option that I never see supports do. I don't even see it happen in Diamond, but I know it's super effective.
Can I guess what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Say you, like, kill bottom turret,
Mm-hmm.
and then the wave is, like, by the grump. Do you just go in and place deep wards and then get super deep vision?
That's actually, yes, you can if you've killed their bottom lane. You totally can do that.
But that's not what you were talking about, but
nope,
okay.
But that's really good. I'm glad you said it. No, what I was going to say is you can roam with the jungler.
Okay.
Oh.
I was close in the jungle part.
So, like, you were right. I mean, that's what you do. Mm-hmm. You roam with the jungler. Like, if the ADC goes
Weird
mid
that
for
I said that
pressure.
20 minutes ago.
You did?
Did you?
Yeah, you kill the bottom tower, and I said invade with the jungler.
Oh.
Oh, really? Okay, so Brad nailed it. But yeah, you just take... You like pair off with Lee Sin or something.
Being selfish.
Well, no, it's actually a good play. Like you can pick up with like Lee Sin or somebody like that, and just say, "Hey, let's go in and counter jungle half their jungle."
It also actually really pairs well with what Ashley said, which is going in to get deep wards. Well, go in with your jungler, right? Because then you have kill pressure, and not just oh shit, they found me, I gotta run pressure.
Right.
Right, so if you go as a pair to get all those deep wards down, then A, you're gaining vision, and B, you might be able to kill them, and you certainly shouldn't get killed if you're paying attention to the map.
Right. So those are three things that would be absolutely huge. The other thing that I would say is like the key failing of the bouncing back and forth between mid and bottom, which is, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Is that what you see in silver? Like once the tower goes down, you pretty much just walk back and forth between mid and bottom, or you just stay mid for a million years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The chief failing, the reason why people run into trouble with doing exactly that is they don't ward in between their rotations.
Okay.
Right? So it is your job to make sure that those rotations can be completed safely. Right? And the other thing is, a lot of things when people fail is because they don't ward all those transitional areas, they never see the jungler coming. And then they get ganked in mid 4v3 or something like that. Right? Does that sound familiar at all to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably happened last game. Yeah.
So, I mean, these kind of things are totally preventable slips, right? But you transition your power into area control. So, like, I'm super strong right now. I'm going to walk with my other super strong partner, and we're just going to go put ward here, and then we can go mid.
Yeah, but that's the thing. As a support in Silver, your ADC just wants to do what they want to do. They're not going to come with you anywhere.
Are pings,
you always listen to the ADC. That's the rule.
Are pings broken in Silver? Is that new?
Yeah, no one listens
Not-
to pings.
Did we break
I
pings?
think the missing ping is still working, right?
Yeah, the missing ping's still working, right? But I mean, shit, like, you know, you've got to lead people around by the nose a little bit. And,
I remember this one game that I played.
Okay.
I pinged Dragon because I wanted to go
You
ward
pinged
Dragon. I pinged Dragon.
There you go.
Oh,
Okay.
I think it's a Draven.
Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. He's Canadian. He doesn't even
I don't
understand what you're
care.
saying.
She
No,
pinged.
he just misheard me.
She pinged Ronald Reagan.
Anyways, so I'm like, jungler, come with me so we can ward this, is what my pings were meant to be. And then he started doing Dragon, and I'm like, alright, I guess he wants to do Dragon. And then the people came and killed us, and I'm like, I just wanted to ward, buddy. I didn't mean to take it. See, that's the thing with pings. You can't tell exactly what you want to do.
You gotta spam it until you keep saying you must wait to send more pings. That's when you know when to stop.
Yeah, but how does that
that's a
tell them
reasonable
ward
time to-
instead of do the Dragon?
Well, that's their fault for not being intuitive. Like, you gotta pay attention.
Well, I mean, whenever you said it though, like, did you type it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, okay, so like,
Do you have one hand busy? You have one hand busy with that
Did
bait?
you spam it?
yeah. Well, no,
You
I
have
mean,
one hand busy with that
if
bait?
you were like,
I
hey,
can only ping.
well, like if you ping like let's put vision down or whatever, that's cool. That's a good idea. But if you typed it, you gotta spell it like DRAGON and not DRAYGON. Because they
I
probably
was about
wouldn't
to
know
leave
what
the
you're
call,
talking
but that was
about.
going to be a bad idea.
Can you say dragon again?
No, go fuck yourself.
Oh, okay, good question. Can you pronounce bagel?
Bagel?
Okay, all right. I thought you were gonna say
Yeah.
bagel because
Oh,
I don't know.
I hate people who say bagel.
Yeah.
People
I got
say
something.
bagel?
I
Yeah, they
don't
do.
know why
say
they do like that.
bagel.
Who
It's
says
weird.
that?
Just bagels
Some
and
weird
Reagan.
Canadians, I don't know. I was like, what is wrong with you people? Stop saying bagel.
Yeah, it's
Bagels,
bagel.
dragons, and poutine. I don't know.
Poutine's good. Don't talk shit about that.
Poutine's
Poutine
fucking
is
dope.
Yeah.
It is
I was
so
just
good.
listing things.
Canadian thing.
Anything.
Next time you're in Montreal, there's this little pub that has the best bacon jerky you've ever had in your life. It's
Ryan
fantastic.
Reynolds? That's
Mhm.
that's something good that came out of Canada.
Yeah.
True.
As far as
Let's
I know,
not
that may have
list
been
bad
the
things
last
that came
good
from
thing to
Canada.
come out of Canada.
Yeah. Now you guys are gonna have to claim Bieber once he gets his citizenship.
Oh no.
That's your
Wait.
boy, not ours.
Really?
Yeah, he's applying
Is he really? Why?
because he's
Well,
getting
he
married
does everything there.
he's getting married to that Haley Baldwin chick.
Yeah,
He's
also,
getting married?
he
Oh.
still won't be from here. That's yours. That's yours.
No, we
Yeah.
don't want him.
We're gonna make him denounce his citizenship.
I'm pretty sure he watches the Toronto Blue Jays.
Nobody watches the Jays. They suck.
Whoa.
That's probably true.
Well, I'll have you know, my grandfather watches the Blue Jays.
Okay, Canadians, how do we feel about Kawhi Leonard on the Raptors? Let's get into it.
I don't watch much basketball, but I keep seeing memes on Twitter. I don't know.
Well, you saw that because Kawhi Leonard was on the Spurs for a long time, which is a very serious team, and he was always a very serious man, and no one had ever, I think, even seen him smile, and then he laughed during media.
Oh, that video. Yeah, I saw that interview. They memed
He laughed, and they were basically like, hey, Kawhi, so we don't know a lot about you. Why don't you tell us about yourself? And he goes, I'm a cool guy. Love basketball. I don't really know what to say. You got to give me some more questions for me to give you the whole spiel. And then someone said something. He goes, it was like the worst and most forced laugh ever. It's fantastic. I highly recommend you look it up. It's like a 30-second clip, and it'll make
I've seen it. Everyone's memeing the crap out of it.
It's like you see a guy that saw somebody laugh 20 years ago try to mimic it.
He lived in distant North Canada where his elders had passed down stories of what laughter was.
But here's the thing. So he lived in San Antonio because he played for the Spurs for a couple of years, and he wanted to go to L.A., and they were like, guess what, motherfucker? You're going to Canada now.
You wanted to go north? Oh.
We're sending you way north.
You're going all the way north. So, yeah. So it's lovely.
Canadians, man, we're something else.
So back on track.
I don't know anything about sports, so let's get back to League.
Yeah, back to League. We're a bunch of nerds here.
So back on track. We've talked about kind of macro and rotational things and like what you need to do. Do you find that it is like, I'll just say my experience having played in silver games is that like it doesn't really matter if you get super hard ahead early, because like everything changes in team fights. Like it becomes an entirely different game because whomever kind of has a better handle on team fights, or like whose team decides to actually fight a team fight, may just win regardless of what should happen, right? So, we've got probably 15 minutes left of podcast, right? And that is something that I have actually seen you struggle with. It's like the decision on when to engage and, when to actually like hang back and peel. And in the last like 3 weeks, we've kind of knocked that back from like always engage, never peel to like more of a sometimes I will peel, at least. Right? Mm-hmm. So like
I've been working on it.
Okay, but what specifically do you feel like, what do you look for to work on it? Like, because I'm trying to get in your mind and understand like what it is you're looking for.
The reason I get like so mixed up is because let's say like both our ADC and their ADC is really fed. Let's say theirs is a bit more fed than ours.
Okay.
My brain wants me to go straight on that ADC so we can kill him right away so he can't kill us. But then our ADC dies, so should I stay back and protect our ADC? Like, who's gonna get their ADC? Like, I don't know what to do.
Wait, you say your ADC died or their ADC died?
She's
saying basically
their ADC is more fed than her ADC, so she goes on their ADC. But while that's happening, while she's keeping them out of the fight, her ADC dies. So does it make more sense to peel your ADC and let their ADC free damage, or to go on their ADC to prevent their damage while your ADC is vulnerable to the other team's dive?
Very perfectly done. That's right there. That's why he's a host.
We're done.
Right there. It's quality hosting.
I loved the tone he used.
Yeah. It's very really laid it out there. So, to address that situation, two things matter. One, do you have the ability to instantly delete their ADC? Right? Like with Leona, you're going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Right?
But I won't kill them.
But is somebody else on your team capable of closing that gap if you create the opportunity? Secondly, are they willing to actually do it?
Yeah, see, that's the thing in Silver. Like, if you lock down their ADC, you assume other people to, like, kill them. take the opportunity and kill them. But then people in silver, they just attack the person closest to them, or they just go somewhere else. Like, say I have a Katarina on my team, and I lock down the ADC. The Katarina has, like, a dagger next to them, and a dagger over there. She chooses the dagger with more people.
I can't do it! It's not a word! It's dagger! Dagger is the word that you're looking for. D-A-G-G-E-R. There is no Y in it. There's no Y in that word. Okay, try again.
I'm not talking anymore. No, I'm not talking.
So.
Okay.
Alright.
She can do it. I have faith.
Say there's a Fed assassin on my team.
Right, like a Katarina, for example.
I lock down the ADC, and they just go do shit all with the other champions. Like, what do I do at that point? Like, in silver, should I trust my, like, people, my team, to go in with me and, like, get the person that we should be getting? Or should I not trust my team and protect my ADC, because I can do that?
Okay.
Well, if the assassin's fed, then, like, it should be well known that their role is to, like, delete their carry or delete the squishy.
What if they delete? Okay. What if they delete 2 and 4 mid laner? That is easy to kill, but isn't very impactful in a team fight.
Well, okay. So here's the bigger question: is what you're trying to account for is the misplay of others.
Okay.
Right. I mean, that's what your whole question is boiled down to. Is like, this is what you feel like they should do. As a support, we set people up to do the things we feel like they should do. Then when they don't do those things, we want to stab them with a short sword, otherwise called a dagger. Right? So...
I'm out. Goodbye.
It's not a knife.
You call that a knife? It's a dagger. So, anyway, so yeah, I get it, right? Like, we want to, like, we're the guys that are choosing, like, no, kill that guy, right? And then it's like, well, what do you do if they don't come in, right? How do you judge that? This is literally the same question that I get whenever people say, like, my ADC sucks. What do I do? Well, like, you figure out he sucks within the first few minutes and you dial it back. Because they're not going to do those things. Like, you've learned from experience with that player that they will not do the things that you expect them to do, right? So it's okay to dive once on their ADC and die for it because you didn't get follow-up. It's not okay to do that again and then go, well, where the fuck is my follow-up? Even if you're right, you know by now it's not going to happen.
One thing you may want to speak to, Blake, is when is the benefit of removing their AD carry from the fight worth your AD carry being vulnerable, and when is it not? Like, even if you're not killing them, if you're keeping them out of the fight for 5 seconds or 6 seconds due to CC, and then
the tankier your team is, the better. Well, this is kind of a hard question to answer. Like, if you
were right there too. The tankier your team is, the safer it is. But the other thing is that, do you have another carry or two on your team that can compensate if your ADC dies?
And that's what I was going to say, is like, because I don't want to give the impression, because I started to answer that question. The tankier you are, the safer it is to make that play, right?
I would argue the exact opposite.
Well, we can, and I want you to, but give me a second. Like, here's my thought process, right? So, if you can delay the ADC from re-entering the fight, then that's fine. If your team is entirely a pile of squishy damage, and you delay their enemy hyper-fed ADC from, like, essentially bursting all those people off the map, then that's probably worth it. That's great, right? If your team is super duper tanky, to where, like, only an ADC can really, like, whittle that down, right? Like, burst mages don't do well against tanks. Your cooldowns don't. I mean, you have to be real far ahead for, like, a Syndra to kill a Mundo, You know what I mean? Or like a Zed to kill a Mundo or something like that. Well, maybe not that particular one, but you get my point.
You get the idea.
Right? Like, it would take a mid lane mage a whole lot of total cooldown rotations before they can kill a tanky team. An ADC will whittle that team, pow, 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 dead, 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 right? So there's a whole lot of ins and outs to that question. Like, but I'd say opposite extremes are the times when it's worth it just to get the guy out of the fight. So if your team is made out of glass, yes. Or if your team is made out of beef, yes. If your team is...
But in the middle...
No. Probably not, unless they're so fed that they'll eliminate anybody if they even start the fight.
So can I tag on for a second?
Yeah, go ahead. I wanted to hear, did I accidentally cover your point?
A little bit. Well, you were saying on either end of the spectrum, right? If your team's super beefy, take them out so they can't whittle them down. And if your team's made out of glass, take them out so we can't burst them. The team made out of glass thing, I think, is the more important one, because you're saying this is the person that, if it's like a fed Draven, it's like, okay, well, they can two-shot anyone on my team. But if I CC them, not only A, am I giving my team time to do damage, but B, if I have 3 high damage dealers on my team that are very squishy, one of them will probably follow me, right? So that's good. The other end of it is, I would say it's less about how tanky your team is and more about how many damage dealers they have. So if they're playing like a tank mid, tank top, tank jungle, beefy support, and they have an AD carry, then CCing that AD carry so that they can't do damage for a period of time is number one worth it, because your team might be getting beat up a little bit, but they lost their main damage source, whereas your team lost, not that supports aren't important, but it's your support taking our main damage versus their whole team trying to fight.
Their whole team going on sleep
is support. I know, it's fucking
hilarious.
Annoying. I get it.
It's hilarious.
I don't care for it.
It's like
my mic doesn't go to sleep.
You're talking to the ghost light or something.
Yeah, but in any account, if you can remove their number one damage threat for your support, that is worth it every time.
Okay.
Okay.
So I guess it's just when I get confused about that, because I think about all those things, but all of them together mixed into a team, like squishies and tankies, and then that's the point where I get confused and don't know which one to do.
Yeah.
So is it better to say that when it's in the middle, just stick to saving your ADC?
I mean, here's the thing. As much as you can play rules of thumb, sure.
Okay.
But realize that rules of thumb are also real shit in League. Because, you're ignoring a ton of other factors. Right? Here's an example that I've told you before. When you can get on their ADC as Leona, you'll probably win the trade. Rule of thumb. Right? If you can hit them, then you're going to you do a shit ton of burst damage and you turn spontaneously tanky, you'll probably win that because of all your sunlight procs and everything else if your ADC does anything, right? Cool. That's a good rule of thumb. What happens if there are 20 minions there?
Bye-bye.
Yeah, no, that rule of thumb sucks. Don't do that. You know what I mean? So you have to adjust for these things, and there are some things that you've got to set on that scale, how good is your champion at engaging or catching versus how good are they at stopping someone else, right?
But just for the record, I've acted on this whole conversation as though she were playing Leona.
Right, I understand.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
I understand that. I'm just saying for every other non-Leona support that anybody else wanted to play, right? So,
people
for example,
play things other than support Leona. What?
Yeah, I don't know why, but they do.
Crazy.
Lux. If I were playing Lux support or Zyra, right? Totally different mentality there. If I'm Lux and I see their ADC that's super fed out of position, I may flash forward, Q, E, auto attack, ult, burst the shit out of them, and then die immediately because I'm Lux and I flashed forward into everybody else, right? But if I killed that son of a bitch, I probably did pretty good with my burst, right? Like, good job. If I'm Zyra, probably not. Probably wouldn't do that same thing because my kit actually functions way better at the act of peeling because my ult provides AoE area peel with plant upgrades. So it would probably be way the fuck better 90% of the time to not do that. But those champions have literally the exact same kind of... I have a long-range root skill shot.
Catch burst.
Yeah, catch burst. You know, but yet just that little difference can flip what the optimal play is. Right? And, like, if you're, like, 10-1, and they are, like, their Fed ADC is 4-0, may not be good to do that. You probably don't want to exchange your life for 1,000 kill bounty or whatever. You know, that's something that you got to think about too. So, you know, or if you're somebody like that is going to make a difference in sustaining your team's team fight, like Lulu, for example, like to use your abilities offensively, you literally can't use the defensive half of your abilities because you've traded that cooldown. So that, I mean, these are things that you have to think about is like how long are your cooldowns. On lower cooldown champions, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want because you're going to be back in the saddle in a couple of seconds. You know. Anyway, okay. Where else do you have difficulty in silver games getting your team to do or not do something?
I don't know, a lot of times, actually this has happened with you a lot, no offense, but let's say we're mid lane, we take the inhibitor, obviously, no offense, what we should do is like rotate to another lane where our minions are pushing and take those towers because there's nothing else that we can do mid lane unless they're all dead, because we took their inhibitor and we shouldn't. It's like risky to push further than that, and like a lot of people don't get that. They just want to keep pushing mid. I'm like, no, let's go get other objectives, and like a lot of people just don't listen.
Okay, so like, what is your question here? Like, when do you push for Nexus, or like when do you push for?
Also, didn't you say this happens with Blake a lot, or?
Okay, not a lot, but it's happened multiple times.
So I guess
no, because Blake's like, no,
this is important. This is important.
What? No, don't call me out.
No. It's important because if you're saying that this happens in your silver games a lot, where people are pushing where you can't do anything, that's very different from someone making the we can end call, right? And I feel like what's going for here is, hey Blake, asshole, you think you can end when you can't? How about if you take a fucking tower, you dumbass? I feel like that's what you're trying to say, not me. You're trying to say. But that is a big issue also, in lower elo game, like bronze, silver, gold. I presume it continues further on where it's like, just push mid and end, and it's like they're all up in 7 seconds, and top lane has 35 minions there.
Yeah, it still happens.
Yeah, I'd imagine that
still
happens
make
forever.
those mistakes.
So if that's your point, I'm more understanding. If you're saying
no, on both of them,
no, on both of them, neither of those things happen now. You're just making up stories.
Now I feel like this question is a dagger to my throat.
No, okay, it wasn't a question though. You asked me a question, and I answered. I'm going to ask you another question.
A dagger made of dragon bone?
Yeah, made. Yep. Okay. You know what's funny is I said that and I so hard mispronounced it, and Ashley just did not even detect it. She's like, no, it's fine. That's not. No, not the dagger. It wasn't that. You know.
Did you just become Minnesotan?
Yeah, I think all Canadians are a little
Bobby,
Minnesotan.
don't you know?
No.
Bobby.
Listen, I have friends with Minnesotans. They're really Canadian. Like, they sound really Canadian.
I work with a bunch of Minnesotan people. They're
My
great.
roommate's from Minnesota.
Fantastic
I can hear
people.
that shit all
Love
the
them
time.
all.
Yeah, my roommate's from Minnesota. He can't pronounce shit.
Bagel.
Is he the one that says bagel? Is that where it comes from?
He is another one that says bagel, but I had an old friend that went to she was Canadian too, that went to my community college, and she lived in the northern part, in the countryside, and she says she sounded fine. It's just that she says bagel. Stop saying that.
That's too much.
Yeah,
too much. That's where I draw the line.
I had a girl in high school that said bagel, and I was like, why? What? No one else is saying it like that. What is wrong with you?
Gotta be edgy.
Oh, God. So, all right.
Blake, wrap it up.
We're wrapping. This is game over right here.
I
So,
want to leave.
okay, funny things first. We actually, during the show, got positive feedback from having Ashley on. That is a first. That's never happened before, so congratulations.
Who did it?
Dominic Thompson. Dominic's one
Dom!
old Dom said he's watching 207 right now. He's loving the concept of having Ashley on the show. It's a cool medium, and it feels like a coaching session for the entire team. So thank you. I think it would be cool, though, to see rotational faces like that in the context of the show today. So maybe it wasn't so much of a pro-Ashley comment as I thought when I first started
As a pro
reading.
new person.
Yeah, I think it may be that. So, sorry, Ashley, you're done. Dom said so. So we're going to have to find somebody else.
Rotate my face. I can only go so far. I'm not an owl. Dom. All right?
Nice. I got where you're going with that.
Although I am a Temple alum, which makes me an owl.
Are they the Owls?
Temple Owls. Started as a night school, turned into a full university.
What?
No. Hold
I
on.
have no idea
Temple,
what you're talking about.
Temple University in Philadelphia. It's one of the better business schools in the States. That's where I went. And they're the Temple Owls. So whatever. Let's fuck off.
Let's wrap it up. So with that, I got a couple announcements to make.
Oh,
and
I was going to remind you about
okay,
announcement, but yeah,
sweet.
go ahead.
There is one more bit of live feedback, and it's no, Ashley's doing fine. I'm just liking the concept. So there you go, Ashley. You did great.
Good job.
Well, fine anyway. Maybe not great, but
Decent.
I'm proud. Yeah. Actually, I give Ashley a hard time. Thank you for being a good sport. I appreciate it. You know, you're always welcome to come back on in a biannual basis. Because
Oh. I was confused. I thought you wanted me to buy things. I'm like,
God, I don't even feel like we're speaking the same language whenever I talk to you half the time.
You're certainly not pronouncing it the same way.
We're definitely not pronouncing the same language. So, either way, thank you. I appreciate you coming on. You are more than welcome to return. As much shit as I give you, I have fun with these episodes, so that's good. It's a breath of fresh mountain air. You know, wintry fresh. So, that being said, we have Zill wanted me to announce that the teams for the tournament are live and they are up, and I think it's in the announcements section. Can anybody confirm that?
Yes.
And,
yes, it
and
is.
all of y'all motherfuckers better show up, or else I have to play in someone's stead.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah, Brad is signed up as an alternate. I have been put on a team.
I want
Ashley's
to pop
put on a
into the
team.
announcers here and there and be like, oh, look at these jackasses. What are they? Not invading? What assholes? That's what I want to do.
Do it to it. Like, hey, you're more than welcome to fill any role or be put on a team against your will. Whichever one of those things work out.
I
So,
live my life however I please, Blake.
so that being said, you guys check out the announcement page for the roster. If there's any kind of problems, if something's wrong, if something needs updated, get a hold of Zill. He's your guy. He's the tournament chief. He will take care of it. Other than that, show up and be ready to play. We have had
Wait,
insane turnout. Yeah.
When is the tournament?
I don't fucking know. I think
Wow!
Does it say?
It's
Does it
next
say?
to community games.
It says that the schedule is going to be
Well, surely
No,
he didn't
I
put it up
talked
like
about
October
right before
3rd.
the
October
next one.
3rd.
Wednesday, October 3rd, starting at
Jesus.
what time, Blake Fields?
8 o'clock p.m. community game time is when we're doing it. I
Fucking
know
nailed
that.
it, dude. What time
That's what
zone
I
is
said.
that? Because I feel like that can be confusing. 'cause
Oh,
we
yeah.
live in a time zone where most
CST.
people don't.
Yeah, well, no, I think that's
Central
right in the middle of the
Standard Time.
country. It's a standard time, Brad.
You're right. Most people live in the middle of the country and not on
Yeah.
the coast.
Yeah, why would you want to live on that coast? It's so close to the water, your house could sink. That would be
Who
bad.
lives in America?
Forget about that. Let's just hit the tornadoes, right? That's what we want.
Yeah,
Let's
fucking
hit
A, tornadoes.
We want to see corn.
It's a
Tornadoes are
freedom
the spice
tornado,
of life,
alright?
you know? Like, if you were feeling safe, you're not. The wind can kill you here. That's why we're hard. That's why we have high T. So I'm bringing it back. Let's shut it down. All right.
I feel like by high tea, you're just having a very fancy tea party.
Yeah.
Oh, like if that table be your ping pong table behind you converted to a tea table, and you have like little, like cucumber sandwiches.
Now, see, that's not the case
Cut into
because
squares with no crusts.
that table behind me is full
Oh,
of
but
like
you like the high tea. This is for you.
the table behind me is full of baby clothes because of my incredibly potent sperm. So, high tea. This is why I have
Wrapping this up.
This is why I have many children. Because I have
gotta wrap
Olympic
this up.
swimming sperm. I've got Phelps sperm. Is what I've got. So,
Wait, you got butterfly sperm?
yeah, they get in
No,
there.
that's the breast.
They kinda,
That's the breaststroke.
kind of wiggle. They push, and then it's done. I watched Look Who's Talking and Look Who's Talking Too. I know how it happens, Brad. So, God damn it, I just realized that I'm too old and no one's going to get the Look Who's Talking and Look Who's Talking Too
You're
reference.
just realizing that now.
Well, okay. I think it may be free on Amazon Prime Video.
Hey,
I
Blake,
hope it is.
wrap it up.
Okay, we're wrapping it up. Good night, everybody!
Hey guys, have a good one.
You
Bye,
too. Wait,
guys.
Brad, are you gonna play League?
Wait, are we still recording?
No,
I
that was
don't
the
know.
end of it.
We're still on the voice.
podcast.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no.
Ah.
The podcast
Hell
ended
yeah, I'm
with
gonna
Brad.
play
Are you
League
going to
at
play
some point
League?
eventually.
Because I thought that was a great spot.
Yeah, that's a good
Wait,
that's a good ender.
Wait.
Ashley,
a
you're
good
leaving
ender.
in 17 minutes.
Oh, I'm not exactly.
All right.
7. Well, I have time for a game.
Let's say bye to the stream. Ruku.
Oh, wait, the
Stream.
stream is still live? Oh, my
Hey,
bad.
stream,
My bad.
y'all motherfuckers, I like it.
What's wrong with Ash's screen? Oh, there it is. Ollie seems quiet. Astros.
What did I do?
Why are we not just wanking off Thresh? He is fucking bae. Ruku egg. Hey now, I'm Minnesotan. Just got here. How do you say bagel? Bagel. That's how we do it.
Bagel.
So, alright. Alright, with that, I think we've answered everything. Good night, stream.
Good night.
Peace up, A-Town down.